Welcome to Turbo. Our main event is the NLW champion Daniel Bryan going one-on-one with the high-flying Matt Sydal. Plus, huge tag team action as the Hooligans, Brian Kendrick and Paul London, take on Red Dragon from the Undisputed Era. That's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Plus, opening us up, it is the Hangman going one-on-one with Drake Maverick. And we're not going to have to wait, because that matchup is right now. We are supercharged and ready for the first ever episode of NLW Turbo, and we're about to be graced with the presence of the Hangman. Adam Page ready for the first ever match here on Turbo as he looks to continue the momentum that he's garnered after being embroiled in this bitter rivalry with Cody Rhodes. This all stemming from Cody Rhodes being kicked out of the Four Horsemen by Flair and his protege, Hangman Adam Page. And this past week on Metal, things came to a head. Hangman choking out Cody Rhodes. Brandy had to throw in the towel. And Ric Flair defeating Cody Rhodes in that no disqualification match. Now Cody is at home injured, but you have to believe that Cody wants revenge in a big way on the Hangman. But right now, Hangman is focused on Drake Maverick, and Maverick has a huge opportunity here in this match to make history by winning the first ever match here on Turbo. And I'd like to remind you all, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and join. You'll get monthly episodes of Turbo as Hangman Page with a standing shooting star press. Subscribe for Unboxings Plus. You get early access to a bunch of clips from upcoming NLW episodes as Drake Maverick impressing with the head scissors and the calf kick. And I don't think that Hangman expected Drake to pose such a challenge early on, and he goes for a dive but caught out into the Death Valley driver. I'd also like you to watch as Hangman Page with a moonsault from the top rope. Remember to like the video and comment down below what matches you'd like to see in future here on Turbo. As Hangman goes for the buckshot, but now Drake Maverick with a code red and a kick out from the Hangman, who floats over into the powerbomb. Well, will it be second time lucky? Yes it is, buckshot lariat. Another deadeye to Drake Maverick, hooks the outside leg, and Hangman Page picks up the victory here on Turbo. Hangman dropping Drake Maverick with that brutal deadeye, the same one that he used on Cody Rhodes on Metal. And now he poses as if to say, that's what you'll get if you step in the ring with me, Cody. Well, Drake Maverick, he had some hope spots, including this, the code red, but that wasn't to be. The powerbomb dropping Drake, and then this second attempt at the buckshot lariat turned Drake inside out, allowing for Hangman to hit the deadeye and secure the victory. Well, the Hangman destined for a one-on-one collision with Cody Rhodes, and you know that Ric Flair is watching this somewhere, proud of his protege, Hangman, picking up the victory. Hangman Page picking up the win in the first ever Turbo match, and got some more exciting action for you coming later tonight. If you don't want to miss the next episode of Turbo, be sure to subscribe to the NLW Figs channel right now. So, we saw Hangman Page, he has issues with Cody Rhodes. Another personal conflict on Metal has crossed the line, in my opinion, and that is the conflict between the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne, and the Prince, Finn Balor. Pete Dunne is the first person that Finn Balor seems to fear. Never before has Balor backtracked from a wrestler in this company. He's usually unstoppable. He's got the Balor Club by his side, but Pete Dunne didn't care. He jumped off of the Lion's Den cage, saving Ken Shamrock from a beatdown several weeks ago, and stood tall. Then a few weeks ago, Pete Dunne went looking for Finn Balor in the parking lot, but it was a ruse, a setup Balor was there with a sledgehammer driving in that car and taking out the knee of Pete Dunne. We have an update for you. The injury is not as serious as we first feared, and Dunne is expected to make a recovery in the next few weeks. But someone we don't know the status of is the man, Becky Lynch. After Ronda Rousey injured Ember Moon and took the women's title, it seemed like the next step would be for Becky Lynch to challenge Ronda after Ronda interfered in the match between Becky and Ember at Enter the Dragon, our last pay-per-view. But on NLW episode 87, Becky Lynch was found lying attacked backstage and Ronda Rousey was there at the scene. Now we've got an exclusive interview with the women's champion, who's hopefully going to shed some light on the situation. Well, strong words from Ronda Rousey. She denies having anything to do with Becky Lynch being found attacked. And now are you ready for some turbocharged tag team action as Red Dragon make their way to the ring? Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. They've been in the background as Stone Cold Steve Austin looks to make the Undisputed Era's life a living hell. That is because several months ago, Adam Cole injured Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he came back with a vengeance, stunning every member of the Undisputed Era, but the Era said that is not orderly conduct for a commissioner. They got a petition and a bunch of the wrestlers signed it to get Stone Cold fired. However, Austin got revenge on each and every person who signed that petition, and that culminated in our last NLW episode when Stone Cold cost Adam Cole a match against Seth Rollins. And now with the NLW draft coming up, maybe Stone Cold will get rid of the Undisputed Era and trade them to Metal. We will see. But right now this match is underway as Brian Kendrick and Kyle O'Reilly start. And if you're a new fan of No Limits Wrestling, first of all, welcome. And second of all, Brian Kendrick and Paul London are originals in No Limits Wrestling. They've challenged for the NLW Tag Team titles on numerous occasions, so they're no strangers to this action here tonight as Paul London with a Falcon Arrow and he goes for a super kick, but Kyle O'Reilly now with the knee bar allows Bobby Fish to float in, and now the Exploder to Paul London. And most recently we've seen the Undisputed Era on the back foot of attacks from Stone Cold Steve Austin. And quite frankly, they deserve it. But right now, the double team showing what they can do in the tag team ranks. Floats over, the kick out, into a cover again from Paul London, and a brutal knee to London. Raining down shots now as Kyle O'Reilly applies the sleeper. The sleeper applied onto Paul London. London from behind, and a Snapdragon. And now in comes Bobby Fish, and look at that! Drop kick into the moonsault, makes the tag to Brian Kendrick. Who now drop kicks Kyle O'Reilly out of his boots. And Bobby Fish looking for a slam, and a tornado DDT. And the Undisputed Era, they're trying to collect themselves as Kendrick, look out for Paul London with a shooting star press over the top. London risking it all, and it paid off big time. The Hooligans in control. And now Kendrick looking for the burning hammer, but Kyle O'Reilly lands on his feet and delivers the knee. And Paul London on the apron, but now sweeps the leg And this double team caught out for the brainbuster on the floor. Bobby Fish with the brainbuster on the floor to Paul London. The tag's made, he's in, and here it comes, total elimination. Hooks the leg, and Red Dragon pick up the victory. Well, the Undisputed Era looking dominant as ever here in this tag match. Bobby Fish was the factor in their victory here, having quick thinking to take out London, but let's give the Hooligans credit. They had a lot of great offense in this match, including the shooting star press over the top. But then Kyle O'Reilly with the wherewithal to hit the knee, then this double team combo onto Paul London. The brainbuster on the floor spelled the end as they hit total elimination on Brian Kendrick. Well, the Undisputed Era may be having problems with the commissioner of NLW, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but tonight they put those differences aside, work effectively as a team, and secure the victory here against the Hooligans. And with that win, the Undisputed Era gets a little bit more momentum back in their favour ahead of the NLW draft. Speaking of which, it is this Saturday and it will be live. The main event has only recently been announced, and I can reveal it's going to be an interpromotional match. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Metal versus NLW. And who knows, one or both of these men could be switching brands by the end of the night. We will see. I know there's a few wrestlers who would like to jump to Metal to compete in the Elimination Chamber at our next pay-per-view event, Metal's Ungovernable. We now know that 3 men will be competing in that match. First of all, John Morrison, who holds a victory over the champion. He beat EC3 this past week to qualify. Then later on in the night on Metal, Drew McIntyre hit a devastating Claymore on Chris Jericho to secure his place in the Elimination Chamber. And also, of course, the Metalweight champion himself, Tetsuya Naito, who made sure that Braun Strowman did not qualify, but it wasn't without controversy. Brody Lee and Rhino continued their series of brawls, which ended up costing Braun, who lost by countout. When the rage came over the monster, he tried going after Naito, but Naito got out of there not before a fan in a mask jumped the guardrail, attacked the champion, but it wasn't a fan, it was Samoa Joe in disguise. Joe, for the second week in a row, defying the commissioner's suspension orders and showing up at the arena. The commissioner seems to be losing control on Metal as we await to hear who else will qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Meanwhile, over on No Limits Wrestling, the NLW title scene is also out of control. You got Bobby Lashley, who is the most recent wrestler, to step up to the challenge and take on Daniel Bryan. Bryan, though, was suffering with a rib injury after being attacked in the locker room by an unknown assailant the week before. But Bryan overcame the odds and got the victory over Lashley. However, Lashley and Suzuki were not done, delivering a beatdown to the champion when out of nowhere, Kenny Omega ran down to the ring, made the save, but he was very clear last week. He went up to Daniel Bryan and made the challenge for a world title match. And speaking of championships, let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? Mr. Money in the Bank, Jeff Hardy, who's had what some would call attitude problems to say the least, even alluding to being responsible for attacking Daniel Bryan in the locker room. Matt Hardy, Jeff's brother, he's got his own issues going on with sanity, but Jeff isn't interested in helping at all. He's gone home, he wants no part of Matt's business, and Matt doesn't know what to do. He's losing his family, he's losing a battle against sanity. One thing's for sure though, Jeff could be back at any moment to cash in that Money in the Bank contract, and who knows, he could do it tonight because the NLW champion is in action right now in our main event. And it's Matt Sydal with a massive opportunity here tonight. Can he give a strong showing or even win this match? Stranger things have happened. And about to make his way to the ring, it's the NLW champion, Daniel Bryan. And we like to remind you, if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more episodes of Turbo so you're notified of uploads. Also, got exclusive unboxings, show reviews, early access clips to NLW and Metal episodes and more. Subscribe today and also comment down below what you thought of the episode, and also leave a like on the video and comment what matches you'd like to see in future here on Turbo. As this main event is underway, Daniel Bryan and Matt Sydal, who had a pretty strong showing in the Super X Cup. And now the leg lariat and the standing moonsault off the spine of Bryan, who goes in for the cover. Now a reversal, and Bryan sweeps over, and now the bridge And both men back to their feet. And a double underhook. Backbreaker. And again, another double underhook, but right into the Rana. And a pin from Seidel. But rolls through. And misses the kick. And allows Bryan to hit the German suplex. And Bryan, he's still got some niggling feeling in those ribs after being attacked in the locker room. But right now, he's in control with those yes kicks. But a spin kick from Seidel with a poison spike Rana and kips up again. Seidel on fire. Look at that. Another spin kick, placing Bryan on the top. And you know what? Jeff Hardy, Mr. Money in the Bank, alluded to having something to do with Bryan's injuries. Although Bryan not showing any ill feeling here with a missile drop kick to Seidel. And you know that Omega will be watching this match. But Bryan gets hit with a Meteora. Kenny Omega must be watching this with added interest. He wants a match against Bryan. As Bryan, oh look out! The Hurricane Rana, jumping, and a standing moonsault. Could Seidel beat the champion? No. Bryan kicks out. Matt Seidel putting on a clinic here. Impressing us all as Bryan needs to get back into it, and he does with some stiff shots, and misses again. Misses the chop though, and a roundhouse kick sends Seidel flying out. And now Seidel, look out! Tope Suicida from Bryan. Daniel Bryan flying through the second rope and wiping out Seidel. And now Bryan on the top. Here it comes, flying headbutt. And Daniel Bryan now shaking some feeling. He knows what's coming. Want to hit the Psycho knee. Can he do it? Runs at Seidel. But Seidel catches him and oh my god! Compressing the spine, but Bryan kicks out. Driving Daniel Bryan into the canvas. And watch out! It's a thing of beauty! Shooting Seidel press! No! Daniel Bryan with a label lock. The yes lock applied. And Seidel taps. Daniel Bryan picking up the victory in our main event here tonight. But my god, there were some moments in that match where I could see Seidel picking up the upset. But Daniel Bryan puts away another opponent. As we take a look at the replay of this incredible action, Seidel impressed everybody in this arena tonight with his grit, with his determination. The performance he put on against Bryan tonight is nothing short of legendary. Bryan had some spots where it looked like he was going to put it away, but Seidel had a counter for almost everything. But the champion's instincts came into play there, countering the shooting star press into the label lock, allowing for the tap out win. And there's a great sign of sportsmanship from champion to Seidel. I will give credit where credit is due. Seidel with an impressive performance, but Daniel Bryan with a great victory, perhaps en route to a clash with Kenny Omega.